You wake up in your 16-year-old body and the year you were that age. You have all of your current memories and abilities. What do you do with your life? I'd have a lot more confidence and more of a "screw you" attitude toward drama and unkind actions from peers. See, here's the thing. Well, you wouldn't have peers anymore. Not really. I mean, I guess that's not true if you're currently like 18 and you're winding the clock back like 2 years, but I'm effing 30. All of a sudden I'm back to being a junior in high school. I don't want to hang out with 16-year-olds. I couldn't have friends or a dating life. And I can't just hang out with older people because I'm 16. You wouldn't be able to really develop any kind of healthy friendships or social life until you're like 23 or something. And even that's probably a stretch. It would just be a painfully lonely existence. Don't date that girl for almost 4 years. A 44-year-old brain in a 16-year-old body. I'm gonna get shit done, starting with my 401k. Me too. I'd immediately test out of high school and go into sales, which I've been in for 20 years and you don't need any kind of degree for. I'd still go to college, but only to take stuff I wanted to take. Invest every penny in Apple and Google and retire at 30. Then travel. This is my most sincerely held fantasy. Same. I think about this quite often. I read the book The First 15 Lives of Henry August, where a guy is reborn over and over and have been obsessed since. Hug mom and dad. And grandpa and grandma. On the opposite spectrum, I would know how shitty my parents would turn out to be and cut ties before the trauma. Tell my dad to go get checked for cancer. And give him a hug. I'd have quite a few people to try and prevent from dying young. Invest in Amazon and Google. Along with Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla. Find and meet my wife 5 years before we met. I need that time with her. She passed away 3 months ago and I'd do anything for more time with her. Go straight to a psychiatrist to get a DHD medicine. Shit, ad FC ked my life so hard. Get mom to a hospital before the blood clot forms in her leg. Start sports betting. Because I doubt I would remember winning lotto numbers on specific dates, but I sure as shit remember who won Super Bowls and World Series. Edit to address a couple things people keep saying. 1. Bitcoin wasn't invented until I was 32. I'm anti-capitalist, so helping the billionaires become billionaires isn't my thing. But I may give some advice to loved ones. 3. Every Vegas casino has sports books and spread bets around often. And who don't raise eyebrows for, who don't need to bet lot on long odds stuff to make lot of money. A couple of strategically placed $1,000 plus minus bets on 1,000 to 1 odds would have you sitting pretty and also probably not cause a butterfly effect. I try to make better decisions. Don't succumb to the stereotypes of the era and take the home economics class one wanted to do. I could learn to cook but was afraid to because it was a girl thing to do. I would have discovered my love for cooking at an age I could have really done something with it. Try to figure out my class schedule as I've long forgotten what that was. Take better care of my car and my grades. Have the courage to talk to the girls, especially the ones I found out too late who were interested in me at that time. Look at different options for career paths. Invest in what we all now know are sure things and make a few sports bets. Hug my grandparents tightly and spend more time with them. Cry, due to the loss of my wife and daughter. 1981 I would go insane with grief over my wife and daughter. Buy a guitar. Start a metal band and die young. Fuck it, I'm done. Break up with my boyfriend and cut my toxic best friend out of my life. Would sure as hell save me a lot of trauma and consequential therapy. Cry because now I have to redo high school again. Not give a shit about what people think of me and be true to myself. Get on the right medication I so desperately needed. It would have changed everything. Lose the weight. Save my grandmother by insisting they take her to a different hospital. Convince her to leave her abusive partner. Spend more time with my younger sibling and cat. Cherish everything I've lost. Go outside more. Basically just sat in front of my computer that year. Go to the gym and invest in Bitcoin. Like as much money as I can get my hands on, all into Bitcoin. Stay in school instead of skipping all the time. Loudly crying. Call NASA. Tell them to stop the Challenger launch. Actually apply myself academically during high school and go to college straight out instead of in my late 30s with a husband, house, kids and full-time job. I had no one to tell me how smart I was and how capable. Whatever I'm doing right now because I'm currently 16. Not have a cigarette. I would immediately hug both of my younger brothers. They were taken way too soon and I would do anything to have them back. After that I use my knowledge to invest and I start worrying about the future much earlier than I have now. I'm happy again. Not drugs and also not take that truck. If you mind explaining what happened with the truck. I try and save the family vineyard. It wasn't until we sold it in 2010 that I realized exactly how special having land like that is. I was only 16 at the time, but I would have focused my studies on viticulture and winemaking so I could have stayed in that industry. Be gayer, earlier. I would do better in school. At 16 I didn't think I was gonna survive myself. I thought I was gonna end my life before I graduated high school. I never planned for my future. I never buckled down and worked hard even though I've always been smart enough to do so. I'm 25 going on 26 and going back to school to finally get my college degree and there is no time frame on education. I just wish at 16 I invested energy into my future. I felt like I was worth that energy. Think about boobs 18 hours a day and be miserable about it. Not get type 2 diabetes. Edit. Thanks for all the advice. I do know about all the solutions given. In the UK, so the NHS is taking good care of me. Seeing as I would enter into a long-term emotionally abusive relationship 5 days after my 16th birthday, I think I would steer clear of that. I'd invest in Bitcoin as well. Never date my ex-husband. Stay away from the toxic people I've had in my life, even though it would probably be the most painful thing I'd ever do. Invest in Bitcoin, push myself harder my senior year of high school, and just love myself more. Get a MRI and deal with my brain tumor sooner. Stop eating crap. Seek help for ADD. Be choosier about guys. Invest. Especially since I know what's going to boom. ETA. Since so many people like this, I will add that if possible, I want my husband brought back in age, too, and I want the same family. If not, can he be my dad? Totally different relationship, but he's the best man I know. OMG, this is my biggest fantasy. I would do so many things differently. If only.